Oh,
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are live. It is us. We have people, and we have people listening. And oh boy, do we have some things to talk about. I don't even know what Doku wants to talk about, but yeah, when it gets to my go, oh boy, Doku, you have things.
Uh,
yes, and there's no cure for most of them.
That's also true. Though the doctor does say he has a cream that will help.
Yeah, there's a cream you can rub on them.
well, that's one way to start the show.
Actually, I hear that Doku's follically challenged down below, so he wears a genital hairpiece.
It's part of my identity.
Mm-hmm. So you're not shirking your merkin, is what you're telling us. Gotcha.
There are some really bad jokes that I could make, but I'm going to choose not to.
Wimp.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Well,
Cool.
first off, I would like to ask both Jensen and Batman, did you know
Yes.
that any suggestion that Native American populations committed ritual human sacrifice is actually a Jesuit Christian lie?
That doesn't surprise me.
That's an enormous load of bollocks.
Yes. I can't imagine that the Native Americans would ever do that. They were all sitting around in teepees, very happy.
Well, even the Aztecs, they're Native Americans, so you're saying that the Aztecs there just sat around in teepees? You racist bastard!
I know, I really am. Well, at least they sat around in things that were triangular shaped, where they're teepees. I'm not certain. I'm not going to say ziggurats. Not at all, not ever. But they were all peaceful, and they did nothing wrong, and everything was gorgeous, and it was the evil white man that did it.
I thought you smoked.
We did it.
I thought you smoked.
Let's just say that
so if you smoke, why do you say it didn't have anything to do with cigarettes?
True, actually, that's a fair point. And
20 Rothmans, isn't it?
Whatever you do, remember that we are talking about Americans here, and do not mention the F word, or at least not for another 2.5 minutes.
To be fair, the Maya, the Inca, the Aztec, they definitely never built any step pyramids, some of which they might have dedicated to certain gods that, in their minds, demanded human sacrifice. Definitely never to a god of war, and definitely just that didn't happen. It was all built by it was all built by white Europeans. The artwork, the archaeological artifacts that we found. The first-hand accounts, that's all a grand conspiracy theory that would make the New World Order and Illuminati tinfoil hat guys blush with envy.
Allow me to play devil's advocate here, Doku. That's a fucking load of shit, and you know it.
Oh, I know it, but I did find someone who is sticking to this narrative.
One moment, please, Doku. Batman, no swearing for another 3 minutes, please. Properly.
Oh, okay. How should I put this? Go away, urinating.
Yes, I completely understand that. Remove yourself in a sexual manner, but we will not use swear words.
I want to tell you something about sex and travel.
I bet you do.
In Minecraft, allegedly.
No, I'm going to swear if I want to swear. Sod it.
Oh, that's far too much.
YouTube probably doesn't know what that means.
What?
Hope so.
Well, we'll find out.
Yeah, I don't care anyway, let's be honest. But we are going to play by the rules. After all, we don't want Mazza getting annoyed at us. Oh, yeah, Mazza. Oh, my God. I have something to say in 1 minute. Okay, so carry on, but I have something that in 1 minute I need to say.
So I'll burn up 1 minute real quick. So aside from finding someone who I think this individual actually truly believes that, yes, the whole human sacrifice thing is indeed a Jesuit Christian lie.
I don't think most of these, or a lot of these professors, in quotation marks, history professors, actually do believe this bullshit.
I hope not. Also, apparently, if you quote tweet someone, your name is now Andy, and I don't know how I feel about this.
What?
Yes, apparently, quote tweeting someone now makes you quote tweet Andy. I don't know why, but this is what I've been told.
Fascinating. 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes. Go, go, go.
Fuck that.
Yes. Right. I'm sorry, guys. I need to break through everything you're talking about. Have you heard the latest absolute stroke of freaking genius from the people of color? Apparently, that when the slaves were taken, the Mazas were using them for the male slaves. I want this noted. Were being used for gay sex purposes.
Yeah, that would be when the Arabs were taking them until they lopped all of that off.
No. Apparently, white men took them and was taking them.
Baldy
Including-
hawks.
Excuse me?
Baldy hawks.
Yeah, I know. But apparently, this is the case, and some absolute genius POC whose name I cannot remember. I'm sorry.
This sounds like
nothing
some historical wish fulfillment.
No, actually, there are a lot of people out there that actually reckon that the dude that was into this was seriously into it. We're talking BDSM plus homosexuality plus a big ass smile. There is actually pictures of it, and apparently a film has been created.
Well,
and technically, it's not porno.
Let's be fair here. People are into that kind of shit. You'll find them in every facet of life. You might not notice it, but they're there. Yes, there would have been some fucking white slave owners who did that. There would have been, there certainly were black slave owners who did that. Most of the Arab population did that until they castrated them, which to the Arabs meant penis, testicles, all go.
Oh yeah. No, this was most definitely the black slaves that were taken over to America. They were taken there for sexual activities.
It's all an attempt to dehumanize white people.
Yeah.
Which is why they list us as a monolith now.
You know, I'm gonna take a guess. You said it was a.
I haven't finished. I mean, I make fun of France, right?
Of course.
And the French, but
they deserve it.
Even I know that the French aren't a monolith. There are good French people, there are bad French people, and then there are Parisians.
Fair.
I mean, apparently, War of the Worlds, the Martians weren't trying to invade the world; they were trying to get rid of Paris.
I knew that we did the wrong thing by stopping them. I knew that they were good guys, really. Anyway, Doku. Go for it, mate.
Yeah, I'm curious. So you said there's a particular individual of note that was talking about this. I'm gonna take a wild guess. Was it Tariq Nasheed?
That's the boy.
I fucking knew it.
Oh, look! You can't call him a boy because that's a racist slur.
No, I'm talking to Doku. I'm calling him a boy.
Yeah, well, you can't call Doku that because him being of Arabic extraction is still a racist slur.
No, I can call him boy. I just can't call him a boy. That's the important part.
Same difference. It's just the difference in the accent.
I know. Wow, you detect an accent. Cool.
Yes, I can detect your French accent.
Well, I'm quite surprised you can, seeing as you're Scottish. But what the hey?
Right.
No, Doku,
actually,
you are
my
correct.
accent is closely related to Scandinavian. So you.
That's not really going to help, mate. Oh, did you hear
Vikings?
Did you hear about the fact that Vikings are actually blacks?
Yeah, I've heard that rubbish as well.
Yeah, just wow. Apparently, everything was because
it's jealousy.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, you go to any country in sub-Saharan Africa, and they laugh at this shit.
Yeah.
It's only black people in Europe, and mainly, I know MC will hate this, but mainly in the United States. That's where it all came from.
Yep. I know that if you actually take a black person from America over to Africa, Africans hate it.
Yeah.
I'm talking.
I've had a few. I've had a few friends who were immigrants, either work visa or legal immigrants from Africa, and let's just say they don't really like Black Americans.
Yep.
If you want to hear someone talk very poorly of the Black American population, go find someone from Benin. I will not repeat some of the shit that guy said, but oh boy, this was like 8-9 years ago when Obama was still president. This guy was not impressed.
Yeah, I've got a couple of Nigerian friends, right, and they've turned on. These Americans, the dark skins, they're not black people. They're not blacks. They're not Africans. They're Americans. They're just trying to be white people, but they're not very good at it.
The one guy that I knew specifically, I forget his name, but he was from Benin, and the one thing that pissed him off the most is when anyone referred to themselves as African American, he'd always ask, like, "Where were you born? America? Then you're an American." But I'm like, you're still an American.
That's what I say to people. Americans who go, "I'm Irish." Yes, you're as Irish as the Statue of Liberty, Mom's apple pie.
Yeah.
But it's not wrong. Like, I'm not going to go on a rant. I just want to make a point. Can we please, for the ever-loving fuck of God, stop fucking confusing ethnicity and nationality and fucking heritage? Because, good Lord, it gets annoying trying to explain the difference to morons.
Well, even the ethnicity is practically gone. And these people who call themselves Irish, they're not Irish. They're just the same as every other American.
You know, it won't be long before ethnicity is defined as racist, assuming it isn't already.
Only if you're on about. Only if you try and label people who aren't white by their ethnicity.
Again, that's the thing. I can talk about my heritage, but just because I have Irish and German and Czech and Native American in me doesn't make me any of those things. I am an American. When speaking in a normal conversation to describe like what I am, yes, I'm an American. Oh, well, what's your heritage? What's your where did your ancestors come from? Then I can start talking about what my ethnic makeup is, but it doesn't change the fact that I'm fucking American.
Yeah.
Minor point. You know, there's these companies that actually tell you what your ethnicity is. You know, so like Ancestry, etc.
Yeah.
You know the ones.
Mm-hmm.
Do not ever use those. I'm being serious. Don't use them. They sell on this information.
Oh yeah, that reason. Therefore, my genetics has been sold because, like I said before, cousin of mine into all that stuff. When it was first starting up, she passed the kits around to all our family, and we give her these samples, and there was actually zero Anglo-Saxon in me. There's Irish, there's Scottish, there's those ones north of Cornwall.
I
think
don't
there's even a bit Cornish in there, but there's no Anglo-Saxon whatsoever. So I can literally turn around to most people in the British Isles and tell them to get out of my fucking country, you bleeding foreigner.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
I'll give you 2 weeks, Jensen.
Thanks. Right.
And for the record, Sean, you're not wrong. As far as my ancestral background goes, yeah, I'm basically Heinz 57.
No, Brent, I'm sure your ethnicity is Mangelwurzel.
So we're talking
and Aunt Sally.
Cider drinker. Okay.
Yeah, Mangelwurzel and Aunt Sally.
I'm saying nothing.
Well, I do drink a lot. That's all I'm going to say.
English and Irish, so, you know.
No, he's just an American who drinks a lot.
Yeah, no,
but he drinks American beer, so he'd never become an alcoholic.
Well, I just drink beer, but I do actually am a hoity-toity person. Anybody that drinks Bud Light or Miller Lite in my presence, I'm immediately judging you. I'm sorry, but
well,
why aren't you just drinking water?
We're English. Anybody who drinks that nut piss that Americans call beer, we judge severely.
This is true. Sorry to say, mate. I mean, over here we've got stuff called Tennant Super. We consider that just slightly below toxic wastewater found at the bottom of nuclear subs, and it's dripped from the.
And in my part of the UK, we use that to make our tea.
Yeah, I know. Oh no, dude, trust me, I know.
I mean, I have one question.
Deal with that. Go on.
Well, I have one question. and this is
Yeah.
for just everyone involved. If the alcohol by volume is less than 6%, what's the point?
Yeah, 6.8.
Yep.
Just to let you know.
All right, that's about average for what I usually drink. I prefer things in the range of 9 to 11.
Yeah,
Actually, yeah. That's not bad. That's
I
respectable.
like that from Jim. You ain't wrong. Dog spit compares favourably to Bud Light. I'm okay with that as a statement. I really am.
It also makes me wonder, since we're on the topic of beer, can anyone explain to me, whether it's on the panel or in the chat, why the hell is Pabst Blue Ribbon the fucking choice drink of hipsters? I don't understand this.
I don't even know what that is.
It,
So,
it's, well,
Is it one of those
them
micro
IPA
breweries?
things?
no, it's
Yeah.
not.
Oh.
It's supposed to be garbage, but I guess because it's garbage and cheap, but no one likes it, you could get it
Well-
for really cheap at bars, so hipsters started drinking it because I guess
You are
I'm
talking
not like
about-
the other guys.
Doug, you are talking about a group of people who wear spectacles that serve no actual function.
This is
You
fair
have a valid
statement.
point. Yeah, no, I can't argue that one. I'm so different. Look at me drinking the cheap beer that nobody else wants to drink. Maybe they're not drinking it for a reason.
Yeah, maybe it's not actually beer, but somebody's been milking a dog.
Although to be fair, if I remember correctly, PBR actually is supposed to have a somewhat respectable ABV. So maybe they're trying to pretend it's cool, but really they just don't have a lot of money in their checking account and want to get drunk. I'm not sure. I can't figure out the motivation.
Oh,
they
yes,
want-
and Flying Falcon is not a hipster. He was just joking.
Yes.
I hope he notices I had the opportunity to be cruel to him there, but I defended him.
You did. If you want to get drunk, seriously, and you're actually into pint-style drinks, and I'm not actually screwing around
Whiskey.
now. Technically, that's a short, but, you know.
Not if
I
it's
actually-
not if it's a pintful. It's not.
No, and I do know someone who did. But I would actually
two people now.
seriously... Did you? Ah,
Yeah.
cool. Ah, well done, man. Anyway, Newcastle Brown Ale. I'm not joking. Give it a go. See what happens.
Actually, Newcastle is good. I don't mind Newcastle.
Not nowadays. It's not because
No?
it's no longer brewed on Tyneside, and B,
Ah.
it's no longer actually. It's like most modern beers. It's mostly chemicals.
Oh, what about Hobgoblin?
Good stuff.
I hear Peter Parker won't touch the stuff.
Good answer. Yeah.
All right.
Answer.
That was good. I'll drink to it.
Okay, and all right, if we're going to go on to really dumbass names, I'm just going to put forward who likes a good bishop's finger. That's the question.
Who likes a good what?
Bishop's finger.
The bishop's wife
I bloody well hope so, but
or
Yeah,
husband
no.
in this day and age.
fair point. Seriously, Doku, there is actually an ale called Bishop's Finger. It's
Tell
not
you
a
what, I
joke.
used to like. It's not a particularly strong beer, but it's. I mean, good beers don't have to be strong. They've got to taste good, and Younger's Tartan Ale tasted good.
Mhm.
You don't believe me, do you?
I do believe you. So I actually can't stand any of the pint class drinks. I'm sorry, it's just me. To me, they all taste basically like slightly mouldy cardboard. And I agree with the
what
concept
class?
of Guinness
The what class drinks?
pint class, i.e. beers.
Huh.
They basically taste like mouldy cardboard.
It's
to
an
me.
acquired taste. I remember the
I
first
agree.
time where we were 14, we were in this pub. Don't ask me how we managed to get served. We did. And we're sitting there with, it was McEwen's Best Scotch each, right?
Okay.
Taking mouthfuls and say, oh, it's lovely, this. Oh, I could drink this all day. Oh, I really like this. And you could tell by the tones of our voices and the looks on our faces, it was like sucking a carpet.
Oh, that's a lovely mental image.
But
Yeah.
beer is an acquired taste. Most
It is.
alcoholic drinks are an acquired taste.
I actually don't disagree with you there. To be fair, for me, if I'm gonna just have a drink for the sheer shits and giggles, and I realise I'm gonna get a bad reaction from people for this, but I do like a bit of the old Jack Daniels. but that's not
Right.
to get drunk. Okay, that is just literally sitting there having a drink for the hell of it. If I want to get,
I just made Jim McIntosh go, ew.
yeah,
And there's nothing wrong with a Jack and 2 rocks. Like that's
yep, that's exactly what I have.
What we used to drink back when I was in my 20s was snake bites.
Oh yes,
Yeah, but not just ordinary snake bites, because we get a double measure of Southern Comfort and put it on top.
ooh,
see,
I
I
like
can't. I don't like SoCo.
that. I do.
You would in a snake bite.
Mm-hmm.
I'll try anything once, but
Have you ever had a snake bite, Doku?
I've had a snake bite, just not with SoCo.
Okay.
I mean, I
Do you
can
know what-
see. I can
do you
see
know
why
what
it
we
would
mean?
work.
Do you
Is
know-
it different in England than it is? Well,
Look,
maybe it's different in the.
You know what we mean by when we say a snake bite?
It might be different in the UK. Tell me.
It's half a pint of cider and half a pint of lager.
Yeah.
Usually the strongest that the house that the pub is serving.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, it's indeed different in the UK then.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you guys call it then? I'm actually now curious.
No, it's a shot. It involves tequila. I forget exactly what goes into it.
Oh. Okay. No. Ours is very much a pint class drink. Use the term pint very loosely here. But for me, when it comes to alcohol, if I really want to actually, well, what I used to drink, because I now can't drink anymore, absinthe. It's the only way to go. Okay, seriously, you drink Green Death, that shit rocks.
We used to make absinthe rum mixes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
See, I can't get absinthe. Well, I can get absinthe here, but it's not. It's
Well,
not
you
real
know,
absinthe.
you know what they say, Doku. Absinthe makes the heart grow fonder.
Oh, he actually went for that joke. I was hoping he wouldn't, but he did.
And here we are.
Mhm.
Oh, come off it, Dudley Murphy. You liar. You're in America. You don't drink tea.
Oh God! How long did we just been talking about booze?
Not long enough.
22 minutes. What are you talking about?
Sean,
Import
you only ever have absinthe once. Then it has you.
This is actually fair. I mean, absinthe is one of those things.
It was actually
If you
banned in
want-
this country for a very long time.
Yep. That's true. Looks like Dave wants to pop in. So what the hell?
What's he got to settle?
He reckons that I'm reckoning he thinks he's hard. There you go, Dave. Come in, mate, if you dare.
Oh,
And
so
Jim, if you want to know what you want is Polish stuff. That is the melt your brain quality booze. Like I call it, Green Death.
Still like that applejack we used to make when I was young.
Ooh,
You know the easiest way to make applejack?
freeze it.
Yeah, frozen
Yeah.
bottle of cider.
Yeah.
Make sure it's a plastic bottle.
Yeah. You can tell that I've done this stuff before. It's immediately freeze
The
it.
thing is, it's so strong, right?
Yeah.
You have a potentiality of going blind drinking it.
Mm-hmm.
and that just sounds like a Friday night in Kentucky.
Well, throwing tea in the harbour.
Oh, that would be Boston, to be fair, but
Yeah.
both work.
Yeah, well, that
Yeah.
was because they forgot the instructions on how to make a cup of tea.
Apparently, there's a Japanese booze with codeine in it. Do you know about this, Doku?
Nope.
Being our expert on codeine?
Nope.
Well,
I know that.
I know
Okay,
there.
Oh, did. I know that the Japanese, like most people in the Far East, because of certain enzymes their bodies produce, have a lower tolerance to alcohol than other people.
But I'm not familiar
for the
with.
record, I don't drink. I have not
And-
drank ever in my life. I've either.
And
had
you're in a
coffee-
wind tunnel.
Oh
You're making
well,
weird noises,
I'm
dude.
actually driving right now using
Oh, okay.
wireless headphones, so you'll have.
Ah,
No problem. All right.
I mean, that's the
Wondering.
benefit of being in North Dakota. I can actually drive and not have a problem, unlike everywhere else. I have never been a drinker. I can't stand alcohol in most of its parts. I mean, if people want to drink, that's fine. I have a lot of friends who do drink, and they are more than happy to call a taxi home or have me drive them. But I've always had a problem, especially in my youth, with drinking too much soda or caffeinated products. And as of the last year, I have really cut down even on that. I'm even lucky to have like a can of soda once a week at that. I've been drinking quite a bit of coffee and a lot of tea.
You know those caffeinated energy drinks? Apparently,
yeah, those are worse. Those are worse than fucking alcohol.
Yeah, yep. I was going to say a lot worse.
But yeah. I am not when I say I'm a teetotaler, I am a teetotaler. I do not drink alcoholic products.
Mm-hmm. No,
and
you realize I was
I've always wanted to try an iron brew, but nobody ever sends me one. We can't fucking find it.
That's because you're not allowed to take it out of Scotland.
Yeah, if the rest of the world don't actually let you, apparently it's against the Geneva Convention. No, seriously, actually,
why? They think it has too much caffeine or some shit?
Actually, it's horrible. I'm not a fan of the taste. I know people like it.
I don't mind it, but yeah, I can take it or leave it.
Fair.
It tastes like watered down Lucozade.
Yeah. Have you ever had
Lucozade?
Have I ever had what?
Lucozade.
Never heard of it.
It's orangey coloured and it's basically a glucose drink. So
yeah,
you can use your own imagination.
When I was a kid, you only got Lucozade when you were feeling sick. Yeah.
Yep.
You used to have that like
the closest thing to orange that I ever have is like a Orange Crush or something kind of like that, a soda. But I mean, that's about it. I've never been a drinker. People just can't understand why I don't drink alcohol, and it's just like there are two types of drunks. There's the funny drunk and the angry drunk. And I've always been more concerned that if I get drunk, I'm going to turn more into an angry drunk because of my anger management issues.
Oh, I was always a sarcastic drunk.
You're
sarcastic all the time. You don't need to be drunk for that.
Well, generally, people say, somebody says something when they're drunk. Don't listen when it's a drink talk. And generally, the drink's actually making you, it destroys your inhibitions and it destroys your impulse control. And you're saying what you're thinking.
Vino veritas.
That's not a problem for me. I say what I think all the time. My biggest problem has always been to refrain myself from saying what I'm thinking.
If you're drunk,
that scares the shit out of a lot of people, especially if you're serious. The biggest problem for some people like me is they don't know if I'm joking or serious, and then it takes them time to figure out.
The thing is, Dad, when you're sober and you're the type of person who says what you think, you pull your punches, so to speak, or you'll couch it in a certain way, depending on who you're speaking to. But if you're drunk and you start doing that, you're going to say shit which is going to cause family feuds.
See, that's the thing, Batman, is that a lot of people have impulse control issues, and that's equated to being drunk. Not the feeling of being drunk, not the high of being drunk, the buzz of being drunk, let alone the money that you've lost getting drunk. But it's the fact that you go from thoughts to word without processing or filtering. And we have a couple generations post Gen X that they think that's what all they do. So I would hate to see these pinheads drunk because they're the morons that would probably get. Yeah, they couldn't handle it, and they'd probably get on Twitter. I'm drunk, woo! And it's like, okay, go fucking run into a tree or something.
My generation, we used to, like I said,
your generation.
I first started. I was born in '64. I was born in '64. 1964, Jensen.
I didn't say it.
It's the last year of the baby boomers, but raised as Gen X, basically. But we started drinking when I was 14, and I know it's against the law.
There's a lot of people that do that, and in the Midwest, people do it with their parents in their house, and that's that's there you go.
But the thing is, you find kids who started drinking when they were quite young. Usually, by the time everybody's legal, hit the legal age drink, they're the ones who are managing their drinks correctly and controlling themselves.
Oh yeah.
Because what another thing alcohol does to you is it screws your risk assessment ability up. That's why a lot of drunks end up in breaking legs or more important parts of the body.
Well, here's a fun thing. I think Doku can attest to this. He's probably seen it. I'm not saying you two haven't, but it's one of those things that, at least in America, where we have the bullshit of, oh, you can't drink till you're 21. And, of course, we know that state laws and regulations, even town regulations, can say differently. There's this big thing of, well, it's fun to drink when it's illegal, and then when it becomes legal, it's boring.
Yeah.
And it's just true. And for me, it was like, oh, I'm 18. You know, see, when I turned 18, it's like, oh, I'm 18. I can legally smoke now. I never smoked before. It's like, okay, who cares? So when I turned 21, ooh, I can legally drink. And I'm like, I never drank in the first place. Who cares? I'd rather, overdose on, like, back then you had cane sugar in it, like 2 liters of Mountain Dew or some stupid shit. But it's everything of, like, if it's, by the laws of man, considered illegal until a certain age, it's more fun to do. I mean, that's everywhere. But in the Midwest especially, we always were thinking that we were hot shots drinking homemade whatever. Mm-hmm. And then when we became adults, it's kind of like, yeah, who cares? It's no fun. But that's indicating that we, at least when it was happening with my generation, when our generation was coming around to that, we didn't have that same discipline or control that you had, because just the way things ran. And wasn't that a lot of parents were saying, no, you can't drink. They're just kind of like, they didn't drink in front of their kids, or they only went out to bars when their kid at night with their friends and socialized or whatever. So a lot of kids didn't know anything about it. I was like, what's that do? You're always drinking a beer. What's that taste like? And you either really want to know, and you get that sip, and at a young age it tastes nasty, which the thing is they're probably drinking that, Pitboss or Budweiser shit. Or they're just like, oh, okay, who cares, whatever, dad's having a beer. I'd rather have, a Jolt Cola or something.
See, I never had that issue. Like, I know a lot of friends of mine were like, oh yeah, I'm 16, 17, 15, 18, whatever. Like, I want to drink and party and blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, that's fine. I actually was I wasn't like a heavy drunk, but yeah, I drink alcohol on occasion, starting from a relatively young age compared to most people.
Yeah, well, we've seen pictures of you. You are skinny.
Well, yeah, I have a fast metabolism. What can I say?
Yeah, you have it now, and it's going to hit you like a freight train about.
Oh well, yes. Don't worry. When I turn 40, I'm gonna look like a.
The thing is, Doku didn't always have a fast metabolism. That wasn't a thing until he got struck by that bolt of lightning and doused in those chemicals.
Hey, things happen sometimes.
Well, I can honestly say I'm not disappointed at Doku season 32 as opposed to Flash season 8.
I'll take it. I'll take it. But no, but back on the topic, like, I don't know. I never, like, I would sit down and I'd play, like, video games and get drunk and talk shit on the internet. Like, but it was never like, oh, I'm going to do it because it's taboo or anything. Like, no, I drink because I enjoy it. I don't necessarily drink to get drunk. I don't drink because it's,
drinking to get
forbidden fruit.
Drinking to get drunk is what a young guy does. Drinking to socialize is what an older guy does.
Again, I'll sit down, I'll have a beer, or maybe I'll have a scotch and 2 rocks or something like that. But I'm doing it because either I'm busy talking to people and I'm enjoying myself, or I'm playing a video game and I want to talk shit, or maybe I'm playing a video game and it's more entertaining if I'm a little bit buzzed. Like, I don't do it because I'm trying to get fucking shit faced, or because, again, it's some sort of social taboo or anything. Like, the same reason, like, when I used to smoke, I didn't do it because it was socially taboo. I legitimately enjoyed it. When I stopped enjoying it, guess what? I stopped smoking.
You only smoked because you were consistently trying to be set on fire.
Well, no, if I wanted to do that, I would just go to somewhere.
When I was young and daft, one of the reasons we used to get shit faced is because it was one-upmanship. Yeah, he's had a pint, I'll have a pint. He's had a pint, I'll have a pint, and we're drinking in rounds.
The same shit over here. It's like these fucking college kids, like, oh, I can drink these many shots, and I'll just sit there and say I know who's going to win because it's going to be a fat guy versus a skinny guy.
Not always.
Not fat like fat.
Not always.
The bigger. Well, 99.9% of the time, the larger gentleman, and I mean larger, not necessarily fat, is going to be able to drink more shots because the skinny idiot over there doesn't realize, ratio.
It also
And
depends
so
upon.
5-6 shots in, that skinny guy's plastered, and the big guy's still going into like shot 25. Like, yeah, I'm now just getting buzzed.
I've dropped fat guys under the table
bucks.
before.
Oh yeah,
But
well, that does happen too.
the biggest deciding factor about who's going to drink who under the table is alcohol tolerance, and that's something you build up over time.
True.
It's
And
something
that's
they
the
don't.
thing.
It's
Those
something they
college
don't. Really,
guys don't have that. Like,
and it's also something they don't really have down in the southeast of England. Well, you don't.
All right.
With
Well,
your-
I have
with your
business
warm,
to take
flat
care
beer.
of, so I'm gonna bail out and let you guys have your little drunky talk. I'll see you guys later.
All right, dude.
Have a
Later.
good
Oh,
one, dude.
Batman!
All right.
I left you a question on Twitter about British towns. Maybe you can explain that one to me on Twitter.
Oh God.
No, it's just a question of like, why are there so many parts to a name? So I'm gonna get out of here. I'll see you guys back in the chat.
All right, mate. You look after us.
Yeah,
All
have a
right.
good one.
Later,
Peace
dude.
out.
Bye, dude.
So,
All right,
have
so
we talked about alcohol, or is there anything left? I think we've
Yeah,
pretty much
no.
covered it.
yeah, I think that's good enough. So let's talk about Jensen, I know we were talking about this in the back chat before we went live. So let's go ahead and knock this one out. Twitter's new CEO, because Jack Dorsey apparently decided, nah, he's done with it.
I'm sorry. I apologise for laughing all over you there, mate. Just Twitter.
You're good. So yeah, the new CEO. I know you wanted to bring up a certain tweet, and I was gonna say, we'll just roll with it. Go ahead.
Okay.
That was an easy question to answer.
All right. Good. Well, as we said, it seems that the CEO of Twitter has buggered off, and now we have a gentleman who I have absolutely no intention of trying to say his name, because quite simply I haven't gargled enough razor blades to even try that shit. If you want to go for it, Doku, you knock yourself out, but I have no interest. He's just
Please,
him.
Doku, knock yourself out. It would be very entertaining.
No, I'll pass on both offers. But thank you for the offer, anyways.
Absolutely no problem. Well, it seems that Twitter has, and I know people are going to laugh at me for this, but Twitter has turned into probably one of the most racist things you will ever get. At this point, Twitter was always one of the most racist things you'll ever get. Yes, but now their CEO is saying this sort of thing, and he is pointing out about the racism, and it's acceptable. So they try and do that whole codes and rules on you. They're talking bullshit. Okay, I'm gonna be blunt. He is as racist as you can humanly get. It is really, really bad. One moment. Brent, at some point we need to chat about RPGs.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, I'm being serious, mate. We really, really do need to talk about this, because I also ref games, and we'll talk about it, mate.
Yeah, he's got a black and white short sleeve shirt.
Damn it, Batman.
He was trying not to laugh there.
Anyway, well, apparently Twitter, in its infinite genius, has created a new version of itself where you can actually go into little private rooms to discuss.
Oh, black
and
Twitter.
then the rooms actually close. So there is no proof of who was in any of them unless you screenshotted it beforehand. And there are a lot of people screenshotting it beforehand. They are hideously racist. And I do mean to the point that the KKK would be thrown out for being too soft. And these are black nationalists, not white nationalists.
Well, so not just that one. I'm guessing that the Twitter CEO is maybe part of one of these groups, or
I don't know, but that Tariq, whatever his bloody name was, he's a part of a lot of the.
Tweakle Toes and Sheed.
Yep, that's him. He really is quite into
Yeah,
that sort of thing.
Tariq. Romans were black. The Greeks were black.
Well, no, not Tariq, the new CEO that's taking over for Twitter. I think he's an Indian guy.
He is.
Yeah.
What kind of Indian we talking here? We talking feather
Let's-
Indian or dot Indian?
Dot Indian.
Right.
So
Okay.
what the criticism I have seen is that tweet where he has how did it go? Why do I have to differentiate between a white person and a racist when other people don't differentiate between like a Muslim and a terrorist? Something along those
Yep.
lines.
I do.
That's it.
Well, so this is where Upper Echelon Gamers brought up a valid point. That particular tweet and that statement is in quotations. So what I want to know is, okay, who is he quoting? But also, why is he quoting it? Is this in response to something? Is it just him quoting something? Does he agree? Does he disagree? Like, I need a little bit more context than just a quotation tweet.
Yeah.
But I'm not knowing Twitter and knowing how corporate culture and, well, just Silicon Valley in general is. I'm not going to hold my breath and assume that, oh, this was perfectly just him making a point about something in good faith. Like, nah, I'm not going to go that far out on a limb, so to speak. But it's a valid point that you don't necessarily know, so maybe don't jump to conclusions, even if it's highly likely that this guy might hold those types of beliefs. But
Yep.
I would like to know the context of either why he tweeted it or what he was responding to.
Yeah. No, I agree. But apparently, this was from 2010. But you're not allowed to think about that because that's the past. Yeah, that's right. The left are claiming
And we all know that the past was invented by black people.
everything was invented.
Along with the airplane and
Everything.
yeah, electricity, the light bulb.
White people.
Black people invented white people. The conspiracy theory makes
No,
sense.
that's actually a thing. That's
Oh,
actually what a
you've
lot of
gotta
them
be
believe.
You've got to be
Yeah,
kidding me.
there was this super scientifically advanced black civilization, right? And they all had larger brains than they have now, right? And this black scientist
I'm not
created
saying-
white people who were physically and mentally weaker than the black people. But the white people destroyed that civilization and stole everything from it.
One moment, Batman. Yeah.
Yes,
I think
exactly.
He's talking about orcs and Gretchen, Doku.
No,
That
no,
really
I'm not.
sounds like it.
I'm not. This is something that a lot of black people actually believe.
Oh, good
I-
gods.
So Wakanda actually was real.
Yeah. Apparently.
Yeah, and bollocks, bats are
don't
not
want to-
rodents.
I don't even know what to say to that one, Batman. I enjoy listening to conspiracy theories. I actively seek them out, but even that one's a little bit much.
Actually, no. I think Goatman says absolutely everything of that. Okay.
It's so appropriate,
it's
though.
Nation of Islam. I believe it.
Oh,
It was
no. Whoa. Hold it. Come on, MB. There's no need to be so nasty to call him Val Kilmer. Batman, you're not that bad, mate. Okay.
Thank you.
I'm actually
Who
going to defend you on
called
that
who called me Val Kilmer?
bollocks.
Oh yeah, like somebody who names himself after a small sweaty part of the body that has any credence whatsoever. But this guy, this scientist, was supposed to be called Yaqub, who lived 6,600 years ago.
Okay, how do you spell that?
Yaqub.
Y-A-K-U-B.
Yeah,
Is that
it's
the-
apparently it's the Nation of Islam that believe it.
There you go.
Okay, well, what do we got here?
Mm-hmm.
Yaqub, Nation of Islam, according to the most trusted source on the entire fucking interwebs, Wikipedia.
Yeah, because that has never ever told any lies ever.
In the beliefs of the Nation of Islam, Yaqub, sometimes spelled in a way that I don't give a damn, was was a black scientist who lived 6,600 years ago and began the creation of the white race / white people. He is said to have done this through a form of selective breeding referred to as grafting, while living on the island of Patmos.
Patmos.
The Nation of Islam theology states that Yaqub is the biblical Jacob. The story has caused disputes within the Nation of Islam during its history. Under its current leader, Louis Farrakhan, of fucking course, the Nation of Islam continues to assert that the story of Yaqub is true, claiming that modern science is consistent with it.
No.
Okay. Okay, Tony Farrakhan.
It's getting bad, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
Good
I
Lord.
did not know about this guy. Okay, so that's why I'm going quiet. This is cool.
Yeah,
Which means I
it's,
just want to know,
it's basically
okay?
is a black version of Eric von Daniken.
Wow. That means that the blacks created us and we're taking over. So it's their
Yeah,
fault.
and we're physically and mentally weaker than them, apparently.
Yeah.
So how can a physically and mentally inferior population overwhelm and overcome a physically and mentally superior one?
Yeah. I
It-
know.
Just no.
What I want to know is where does Einstein, the Fourth Reich, the Atlantic slave trade, where does that fit into this? Because sounds to me like if the Nation of Islam and Louis Farrakhan and all the followers truly believe this, maybe you guys weren't as intelligent or physically capable as you thought because you got overthrown by your genetically engineered
Inferior, yeah.
slave labor.
And the other thing is, why would you create a slave population that was physically inferior to you?
Yeah.
What I want to know is how did you get overtaken technologically by a race that's supposed to be genetically inferior to you, both physically and mentally?
Yeah,
It's that
incredible.
doesn't make any sense at all.
And if Egypt was a black nation, how come all the genetic evidence refutes this wholeheartedly?
Just look at your screen, guys. I'm not reading it out. That says everything that needs to be said.
They actually think that, though, Matt.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
that's
it is.
something. Okay, wait a second. So
And there's no such thing as the white race. If you're going to go down, you're going to use race. There are many white races.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to use the Farrakhan logic here.
Hold it. You need to drink at least 6 pints of vodka.
Yes.
And then bash yourself in the head with a brick.
No,
Then you can use his logic.
No. First of all, what he said, right? Then you have to go creep up behind Mike Tyson, kick him in the bollocks, right? And stand there with a cheesy shit-eating grin on your face while he recovers.
Anyways,
Yeah, and Dr. Bollocks was a bike in that. And I'm not on about a mode of transport either.
Oh,
anyways.
Yep.
Anyways. So using this same train of logic, how did the Aztecs lose to the Spanish conquistadors?
They cheated.
Because the conquistadors are actually black.
Probably.
Then so wait, the Aztecs. No, that makes even less sense.
Hey, Doku, these are also people who believe that European civilization was originally black and white people stole it.
Yeah.
They think that that black people were the first people in the Americas.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
kind of right there because a divergent group of the people who became the Australian Aborigines settled in South America, but were almost driven to extinction by the indigenous populations that live there now. There's a small population that live on the tip of South America.
Huh, it's almost like human beings actually adapt to their surroundings.
Yeah.
Gee, I wonder why that would be.
Who'd have thunk?
Yeah. Maybe melanin actually serves a purpose and it has everything to do with the environment surrounding you and not anything to do with,
Yep.
actual.
Yep, and I would argue that so do psychological tendencies as well.
Again, give it enough time. Even in a short amount of time, yes, people are going to evolve and develop certain behavioral patterns that influence how they grow, develop over time. Because yes, breeding is a thing. We've observed inbreeding. If you don't think that breeding amongst a certain population that is relatively self-contained over a set period of time is going to result in, I don't know, people from that area being different than people from another area that haven't interacted for decades, if not centuries, if not maybe even thousands of years.
You're right. You're right about the inbreeding. Just look at Dr. Bollocks. Right, and Bollocks, if I wanted to go that as far south as you are, I'd learn to speak French.
I'm saying nothing. I mean,
No.
he's
It's all in good fun.
I know it is. I know.
Brent, you'll have to take that out with the left hand.
Hey, the horrible thing is, if this was a purely American chat and you had an American going at somebody in a chat like this, they'd end up having an actual fight, wouldn't they?
I don't know. We're kind of assholes over here. It depends on what type of American we're talking about.
That's the point, mate. You guys would actually pick the fight where the Brits will generally
Just
let
take the
a whole
piss.
lot more go, which is what I think he
Yeah.
said. Am I correct with that, Batman?
Yeah. We this is how we get on with each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, most of us, most normal, rational people who don't spend a lot of time on the internet because, well, they work.
Are you going to say
would just-
America in this sentence?
Would just take the piss, but there are definitely those people who are very easily offended and
They're growing every day.
and they don't know how to take jokes.
And their numbers are growing every day.
You're not wrong. I had a good example of this actually earlier today, where someone just kept saying stupid shit like, "Oh, you're the only one obsessed with thing." It's like, I'm going to quote tweet you and make a joke at your expense. Oh, well.
And I'm sorry for doing that to you, Goku.
Oh no, it's not you, Batman. Though that's the thing.
Recently, anyway.
I don't know. If anything, do it more. I need more laughs in my life. But
Okay.
But no, this moron is like.
I'll send you Jensen's nudes.
Okay, maybe I'll pass on that one.
Well, he said he wanted to laugh.
You never said no from last time.
Yes, I did.
No.
That's what the restraining order's for.
Oh, I thought that was Lou Roll. Sorry.
But no, it is funny that some of these people are like, "Oh, you're the only one that cares about this," and then you make fun of them. And it's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you just have low self-esteem. You need to go get laid. Ha ha ha. You're the salty one." I continue to make jokes about you. You're just quote tweeting me. I continue to quote tweet you and make jokes at your expense. At what point in time do you realize I'm just using you as my personal plaything because I find it amusing? You're the one that's over here like trying to offend me or being all salty about it. I'm gaining everything and you're winning nothing.
Yeah.
Do you know that it was a black man who taught God everything he knows?
Of course.
Please
That
tell
doesn't
me
surprise me.
you're joking.
Yes, I am.
We hope.
But it wouldn't surprise me if there was black people who think that's true.
Yeah.
There probably are because, well, as Jensen was referring to earlier, there are some certain groups on Twitter. They have voice chats on Twitter the same way we're doing now. And there are people, Hoodie is one person individual who talks about quote, quote, black Twitter. And yeah, they're a thing. And they're very racist. Very racist.
Those Nigerian lads that I tell you about, they've heard all this stuff. Yeah, the We Was Kang thing, and they're just saying that, it's black Americans being jealous of white man's history.
Well, it's funny because
But
I know Hoodie is
it's not
black.
just the thing is, it's not just white man's history. I mean, yeah, the history of China isn't just Chinese history. History belongs to every human being alive.
Yep.
Culture belongs to every human being alive. You can't put ownership on these things.
Well, that's the thing, though. I know Hoodie is black. I know a black conservative perspective. Anthony Bryan Logan, Brandon Tatum. Like, I listen to all these people. I've talked to at least two of them, and when they see this type of stuff, they're like, "Yeah, please don't lump us in with this because we are not like them."
Yeah, and apparently the original screening of that Back to the Future, the original writers, actors in it, they were all black. It was stolen by white people
Of course it was.
because it was going to be called, like I said in the chat, Blacks to the Future.
Mm-hmm.
And Jim, yes, you're correct. Hoodservative is fucking awesome. I've only had the chance to talk to him like 3 times, but he is great. I love his approach. Instead of really trying to refute these people on a serious level, just troll them. Just make fun of them. Like they're not worth a serious conversation.
No, they're not.
They are worth the free entertainment, and that's what pisses them off the most because you don't take them seriously at all. Just make fun of them, mock them, and have a laugh at their expense. That really gets under their skin. No pun intended.
I treat the We Was Kang's Brigade the exact same way I treat telephone scammers. Purely as entertainment.
Yeah.
And
I've told Jensen this one, but ought to be almost a year ago now. Telephone scammer rang us up. You can always tell it's a telephone scammer because they give you an English first name, right? And they've got an Indian accent or whatever. And he's obviously reading off a script. And hello, my name is David or whatever. He goes, my name is David.
One I hear often.
And good morning to you, mister. Oh, no, it's you. Then he hung up.
I would like to issue a challenge to the panel in the chat. The next time you get a telemarketer call, see if you can actually sell the telemarketer something.
That's awesome. I like it.
It's not a bad idea.
If anyone succeeds, let me know, and I'm gonna need proof. But if you do succeed, I will send you $20. Give me your PayPal or your Venmo. That is my open challenge right now. I will send you $20 if you can sell the telemarketer a useless product.
I have had a telemarketer apologize to me before.
Nice.
Yeah. I convinced them I was black and Jewish.
Okay. What were they trying to sell you?
Well,
the Nazi Party?
No, it was because they were going to cut my internet off because they were BT, you see. I'm not with BT.
Yeah.
So I was. It's because I'm black and because I'm Jewish, isn't it? No. It's not that. It's because it's because I'm black and because I'm Jewish. I know I paid all my bills. I know I'm entitled to this service. You're about to cut it off because I'm black and Jewish and you're racist. They were actually apologizing by the end of it. Half an hour. I was on
awesome. I am totally okay with that. I really am.
Oh,
yes,
that poor son of a bitch.
yeah, Matt, bluish. Or Jack.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, though, there is the black Hebrew Israelites. That is indeed a thing.
True. Maybe you're one of them.
They're a very small minority and they live in Ethiopia, I believe.
I don't know. Apparently, there's a group of them that are in the United States. For the record, they're the ones that kicked off the whole Nick Sandman thing.
Yeah, but they're not real black Hebrew Israelites. They're pretendy ones.
That wouldn't shock me.
I don't know. They still managed to convince a lot of white people to bow to them for the great sin of being white.
Oh, Christ.
You know the group I'm talking about.
All the black people have done that to white people in America. But a lot of white people in the UK as well. If I was a professional footballer, right, Jensen, like real football, not hand egg.
Yeah.
Where they're all taking the knee. At the start of the game. The only reason I'd get down on my knees if one of my football boots had come loose.
You know, I'm going to point it out. Okay, just because I feel the urge to. You know, when they go down on their knee, you do realise that is actually them admitting subservience.
Yeah, it's a sign of capitulation.
So literally, they are bowing to the superior
Yeah.
enemy every time they do that. I wonder if they realise this, because if they don't, it explains exactly how dumb these people are. Just had to say it.
Incredibly so.
Dumbass people.
I actually do wonder that as well, but whether they're aware or unaware of exactly the implication of the symbology that they're engaging in, they'd probably do it anyways.
Yeah. Bad.
Right, people in the... Oh, don't be stupid, Mr. Goatman. Nobody's awake long enough to know who's playing cricket. Cricket is one of those games, it's terribly exciting if you play it.
Yes.
It'll send you to sleep if you watch it.
Yes.
The only time you wake up during a cricket game is if you get hit in the face by the ball, and then you're not awake for very much longer.
Fair point. I have to say, the only thing I consider worse than cricket is golf. They really need to exchange the ball for a hand grenade because it'll make the game a lot more exciting.
Now, I've got a better idea. They go to get off on the tee, right? And they see the tee's already been placed there. What they don't realise is the tee is a lot longer than it looks because it's embedded in concrete. And the ball on the tee is attached to the tee with a piece of very strong elastic twine. So they whack the ball, right?
Yep.
It goes all the way down the fairway, then comes back and gives them a massive concussion.
I am totally comfortable with that. I really am.
Or even better, I've seen it done on their hidden camera stunts before, where somebody's surreptitiously sleight of hand switched their ball, and they've now got a ball with a ball bearing inside of it. So it goes off on an unpredictable angle.
I have heard about this wonderful thing in Kentucky where this absolute genius thought it'd be funny one Christmas to go around knocking over snowmen with his car.
Mm-hmm.
So these bunch of people decided to build an 11-foot tall snowman for him to knock over. And he's gone belting towards it with his car. He's hit the snowman. And there was a tree stump in there.
We did something similar to these big lads when I was a kid. Yeah, it snowed and we built a snowman. So they come and smashed it. We built another one and smashed that. So we built a third one around this concrete traffic pole. Yeah, one of those 2-foot tall poles.
Yep.
And they broke their feet.
Awesome. I am totally comfortable with that statement. I really am.
Matt, nobody's as old as MC. MC can remember when all this was a primeval atom.
Leave MC alone.
I know. Hey, Jensen, I know it's an old joke, but so is MC.
Fair point. Yep.
Damn it.
Actually, I'm totally comfortable with that statement. I really, really am.
Bollocks. The only way MC's got an autographed Bible is if he wrote in it himself.
God said, "Let there be light." MC said, "Oh, that goddamn light out."
MC said, "I'm not paying the bill."
Yep. Oh, he's gonna kick our ass for this. But you know what?
Hey, do you know if MC went back in time and wrote the Bible, I bet the Bible would say that America was created first.
Probably. That's a horrible thought, but
I love winding MC up about America.
No, never. When's it ever happened?
To be perfectly honest, I really like America. Now, it's still got the potentiality to be either the best or the worst country in the world.
Mm-hmm. It's unfortunately
leaning the wrong way.
Worst.
Yeah.
I have to say. Then again, Britain ain't really doing that much better, mate. Let's get honest here, right? I don't want people thinking I'm doing the whole, Britain is wonderful. No, Britain is not wonderful.
It's a dog shite at the moment.
Yeah.
Right, hold on, I'll be right back.
Yeah, mate.
We don't care. No, Britain is, it's a dump at the moment because of what people are doing.
Mm-hmm. Anything you want to say to that, Batman?
No. Get rid of the rest of it. And so what Ratman is saying is MC was the first. You'd be right.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, Event 1 happened because MC sat on the primeval atom.
Yeah, I'll accept that statement. And Falcon, it's a great idea about getting rid of the anti-Americans. Unfortunately, that's about 2/3 of your country.
The horrible
I'm
thing
so
is,
sorry for you.
some of the woke idiots are pro-Americans, just not the America that you want.
Fair point. No, actually, no. They want to rename it, I believe. It's literally everything America that they want to get rid of. I've got this horrifying thought that they're going to try it and basically USSA, United Soviet States of America.
Yep.
That is a horrible thought. It really
At the
is.
moment, all the best they're going to get is the untied states of America.
Yeah, disunited maybe. But,
Mhm.
is what it is, unfortunately. Well, while we're waiting for Doku to resurface from committing mass murder.
Insomniac, it's kind of up in the air at the moment, but it's got the potentiality to be both. I mean, they steal all the fucking best minds. They steal all the most talented engineers and scientists, and they grow their own as well. Let's be fair.
Yeah, you're not wrong, Matt. You're really not wrong with that statement. And you're saying the USS America, it's a lovely idea. It really is, but Soviet states?
Yeah.
Really?
Or the Soviet Socialists of
bad.
America.
Yeah. No, I'm sticking with the Soviet states based on America loves its whole states thing, but...
No, I think Soviet has a different meaning than just communist, so it might be better the United Socialist States of America.
I'll accept that statement. All right, that's fair.
Actually, I'm just curious because I knew what it meant once.
What, USSR, United Soviet States of Russia.
Soviets were a political organization and government bodies of the late Russian Empire, primarily associated with the Russian Revolution. So now you couldn't call it the United Soviet States.
Why? They're looking at pretty much taking over, turning it to communism. Actually, good point, turning it to communism. That's not exactly Russian.
Or National Socialism.
Yeah, I suppose it's sort of CCP, kind of.
Well, I think it's more like Fourth Reich, especially judging from that fucking tweet that Doku shared with us.
Yeah, that was a thing.
Have you shared that with people who watch this stream?
Well, I've told MC about it, and
Shirati's probably still screaming at everybody.
No, Shirati doesn't care. Her entire comment was, I don't care. Literally.
She probably had enough. I mean, I remember a time not so long back when she would have screamed the place down about that.
I know.
She would have probably gone hunting that woman down.
No, I actually said to her, could you imagine if that was your kids that they said that about? And her comment, it won't be, I don't care.
The thing is, if it was her kids, I pity the fool that tried that with her kids just because of what her kids would do.
That's also true. Then what's left would be given to her to do horrible.
Yeah, like there'd be anything left.
Let's just pretend. Yeah. Oh, no, we're talking about only 98%. Biden's going to get 100%. Everyone's going to vote for him. It's already been taken part, MB. Sorry, man.
Bollocks. Biden.
No more voting.
Biden didn't get 98% of the vote because somebody stopped concentrating on the Ouija board.
Yeah, you're not wrong with that statement. What? I just thought it'd be good for you to think about as you're putting things in your mouth and thinking about lag. That's got to be good for you, mate.
What
Well,
the hell are you talking about?
which hag in
Timing
particular?
was good. Sorry, what was that, Batman?
Which hag in particular?
Girardi, also known as the Hag. That's his
Could have
official
been
name for her.
could have been worse. Bolus. We could have mentioned Angela Merkel.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Proof that Hitler did reproduce.
If I want to watch Troll 2, I'll just watch the movie.
not wrong. And it's a nice idea with OCP purchasing America, as long as they create a 209 and lots.
It's
of them.
funny you should mention trolls when I said Angela Merkel, because if you notice, you've never seen her in direct sunlight.
You know,
You know,
have
it's not wrong.
Yeah, you actually have a point now that I actually sit down and think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, huh?
It's either Shadow
Oh, sorry, Jim, you fucking broke me with that one.
Katie
Oh,
Boom.
You've never seen Animaniacs when it used to be good. It's this teenager, right? Teenage girl.
Yeah.
She's perfectly normal teenage girl until something goes slightly wrong. Then she turns into this demon from hell, literally, and ends up exploding, and the house gets destroyed.
Oh, okay. No, I can't say I've watched that. Apparently, they redid Animaniacs.
Yeah,
But, yeah.
Why? Oh
It-
my
it
god!
kind of went to the left.
I'm shocked.
Imagine my shock.
Ah. And actually, that's a very good question, MB. How much, Batman, would it take for you and Merkel?
There isn't enough women and enough sexy women and enough
Okay.
booze in the entire multiverse.
Okay, I'm going for it. This is a horrific thought. Merkel or Markle? You've got to pick one of them.
I'm going to take the third option.
Suicide.
Oh no, worse than that. I'm going
Okay.
to detonate a reality bomb, which is going to just erase me from reality, past, present, and future.
Okay, everybody, if you want to get rid of Batman, you know exactly what to do now.
But it's also going to take the entire multiverse with me.
And this is a bad thing because...
You'll be left alone.
Oh, crap, I'll get hungry. Yeah, good point.
Yeah, with Merkel and Markle. And her wife, Princess Harriet.
Yeah,
I choose Exterminatus.
I understand why. Oh, I take it you've heard about what's going on with Queen Elizabeth and the whole thing with Harriet and her husband?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been at it for over about almost 2 years now, haven't they?
Yeah, no, what I mean is how the Markle and her group are not going to be doing the whole Christmas thing with the royals at all this year. Apparently, they've been cast out.
Do you mean they cast themselves out?
No, it wasn't them. They didn't do it.
No, Merkel's cast herself out deliberately.
And
I bet.
this will be hilarious for you because you probably know a damn sight more about the royals than most of these people here. Apparently, Charles was the one that was a racist, not Philip.
Bollocks.
Oh,
There was a racist in that party.
Yep.
It's the one that buggered off to America with her wife, Princess Harriet.
Yep. I know.
I mean, nobody knew she... and the other funny thing is, nobody knew she was black until she told everybody.
Fair.
Even in America! I've heard Americans go, what, she's black?
You know what? She's actually got the skin tone that does suggest...
Mediterranean.
Yeah, good term, Mediterranean. Yeah.
She looks like an Italian.
She sort of is. I would probably say 2/3 black, to be completely honest, MB.
No, I would probably say if she is black, it's probably one black great grandparent, and everybody else in the family's been white.
Well, Batman, to be fair, we're still trying to figure out what ethnicity Kamala Harris is.
Yeah. But we're on
trying to
about.
work out what species
We're
she
trying.
is.
We're talking about Meghan Markle, and I'm not going to be fair.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't deserve it.
Fair point.
I mean, I can tell you what she is, and it has nothing to do with skin color. She's an entitled fucking cunt.
I am totally
Yeah.
comfortable with that statement. I really, really am.
And deserves to be treated as such, nonetheless.
And talking about that, I hope before she gives birth, her vagina heals up.
I'm not laughing. I would never laugh at such a thing. I'm a good boy.
Yeah, you can tell by your voice that you're trying to hold it in.
Brent, I don't know about ethnicity, but let's be fair. With her, do you think that she counts as chaotic neutral? After all, that's a stupidity.
I actually, I think she's a drow with good makeup.
You take it back. The Drow are so much better looking than that thing. You take that back. Yeah,
They do have rejects, you know.
I know. I was allowing for the rejects. Still better.
Okay, she's a reject that cursed with extreme ugliness.
She's a reject that was kicked out by the rejects, maybe.
Yeah. She got bitten by. Oh God, no! That's what she is. She's a Nosferatu with a wig.
I'm willing to accept that statement. I really am. But anyway, Doku, do you have some more you wish to talk about? Did we tick all of your boxes?
I hate how you laughed before saying that.
I know.
Yeah. I think it's because of the connotations ticking the boxes carries.
Mm-hmm.
You leftist tool.
Doku, you're not at all.
I was talking to you, Jensen.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, it's not at all tools work.
Oh, well.
That's harsh.
Damn. All right.
Yeah, but Doku, notice how I'm not saying it isn't true.
Also true, yeah. Sorry,
Well,
Doku. Had to be done, man.
I'm not.
I know.
To be honest, I drink most of the time. Would you really want a drunk wrench in your hand?
A drunk wench in my hand. Depends what she looks like.
Are we going back to Markle again?
No, I said wench. I'd have, like I said, not enough alcohol in the entire multiverse.
To be fair, wenches have value.
This is fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got Twitter's whatever the fuck is going on with Twitter.
I don't know bollocks. I wouldn't like to. I'm not prepared to stir Harry's bollocks porridge. No, but I wouldn't mind stirring some shit in that relationship by like planting fake but convincing evidence that that his lady wife is cheating on him. Perhaps
That's not fake. I don't really want to be that horrible. Okay, I am going to be that horrible because I don't care.
There's no way those are his kids.
Did you actually do any calculating when it comes to her and the
Yes,
first baby?
that's no way those are his kids.
Yeah. Nah, I agree. To be honest, he's a ginge. There's no two in this. You don't get much more ginge than him. But do you see much more ginge in the kids?
Yeah, I think it would be funny if one of the kids looked looked exactly like The Rock did on his when he was a baby. And the other one looked just like a baby Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
If I had a choice between Meghan Markle and the husband beater from Aquaman, I'd be rubbing some amber.
Yeah, I can see that you'd have heard that. No, you're not wrong there. Reason being, I'm asking Doku, so I'm going to point out to everybody. On the 11th of next month will be the wake for Mad Dodge and Cabby. You are all invited. I do hope you can be there. Oh, don't worry, mate. I'll send you the link as per usual.
Yeah.
I'm just letting everyone know.
This time,
it would be
Jensen.
nice if you could be here.
This time, Jensen, when you're sacrificing babies to Cabby and Doku, make sure you don't get caught.
I'll try not to this time. So,
This time.
is that you? Yeah. Did you think of what you needed to say, or did we tick those proverbial boxes?
I can't think of anything else to make fun of.
Okay, okay.
One thing in all seriousness.
Yes.
I recently saw a video, right? I think I was on about this the other day, wasn't it? It's a guy who runs his a local like family undertaking business, and he's on about the pandemic. He says since it started in 2019, obviously he's in contact with other undertakers, even the large chain undertakers, because in this country businesses tend to share rather than fight. And one thing that him and all of these other undertakers have noticed is there hasn't actually been a rise in the death rate. Yeah. And definitely no rise which would indicate even the beginnings of a minor epidemic, let alone a fucking global pandemic. The longer time goes on, the less convinced I am that we are in the grip of a pandemic at all.
Fair. That's not an unreasonable thing to consider, in your opinion. Notice how I'm wording that, because you know full damn well that you.
Oh yes, definitely.
Going to.
It is just my opinion.
Yes.
Well, we're not allowed to have those anymore, apparently, according to
Actually, no. I've got a medical note from my doctor that says I'm allowed an opinion.
Did it get certified by the Ministry of Truth?
Yes, it did.
Oh, well, in that case, you're good.
What about the Ministry of Black People? Did they tick it okay?
Yes, they did.
That's fine.
And sometime next week, I will be releasing their children.
I am totally okay with that.
I didn't say if they would be alive or not.
You didn't say we was releasing them off of either.
Yep, and I didn't mention the fact that I've infected them with a retrovirus, which will rewrite their active DNA. So after a month of suffering from the retrovirus, they'll be white.
Oh, you monster, you.
Yes, I am.
Well then.
And that is actually hypothetically possible, using a retrovirus to do that.
I know.
God, can you imagine if Hitler's scientists had actually come up with that as a biological weapon that turned everybody into what they considered to be Aryans?
Actually, that's kind of what they were working on. That's why we actually have stuff like that now.
That was, but can you imagine if they succeeded? There wouldn't be any black. Yeah, there would only be white people in the world.
You know, Batman, you just
would
gave
have
me
actually lost something if that had happened.
Batman, you just gave me a wonderful idea.
What?
Doku's going to make the Fourth Reich.
Anyone who's on Twitter, if you ever see Tariq Nasheed say something stupid on Twitter, just respond with a Michael Jackson gif.
Every time you see Tariq Nasheed say something stupid on Twitter, you mean every time Tariq Nasheed's on Twitter?
Yeah.
Literally 99.999% of the time, yes.
He's basically the American version of that fucking Femi guy we've got in the UK.
Like I said, anytime you see Tariq Nasheed say something, especially if it's race baiting, also do this with Louis Farrakhan, do it with Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, all these race baiting morons. Anytime they say something, they start bitching about white people. Just respond with a Michael Jackson gif. Eventually, they might catch on to the joke.
No, they will never catch on to the joke. Once you go woke, your sense of humor gets broke.
If they don't catch on,
never get the joke.
If they don't catch on, that'll just make it even better because they'll constantly wondering why are you responding with Michael Jackson gifs. It'll make it that much better.
And again about that tweet that Doku shared with us. You remember my response, don't you, Jensen?
Yes, I did mention.
I haven't been Twitter banned at all.
Wow.
Maybe it's Twitter saying it and agrees with me.
Well, no, if you think about it, there's so much racism going on Twitter, they probably haven't even noticed it yet.
Possibly.
That's actually not an unreasonable statement. Well, it's what it is. Well,
and then again, another thing you can do to people like Tariq is point that to that Michael Jackson video single. It don't matter if you're black or white.
Yeah, don't worry. They'll probably call that racist. Don't forget, they've actually accused Martin Luther King of being racist. Okay, just remember this.
Yeah, it's because they're barely functioning idiots. Now, like I said before, in all seriousness, these woke people, they've never had, the ones who are actually woke, not the ones who are fucking who are using it for their own ends. These are people who've never had to suffer in their lives. They've never had any issues with getting what they want or anything. They just never grew up emotionally. They're children. They act like spoiled 5-year-olds. That's how they should be treated.
Well, because they are, right?
Yeah.
Like they do have the so I guess we'll go on for a little bit longer. Now, these wokies, the enlightened individuals of the progressive left, they do have the mindset of children, and it has nothing to do with the way they talk. It has everything to do with their actions.
Yeah. The worst ones. I remind myself of a friend of mine who I barely speak to now. He went woke, but he's the kind of person. He had the attitude which was hip at the time, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Have a good idea.
Hated zombie movies, right? Then when zombie movies became really, really popular, he was on Facebook saying it was really great, and as a zombie fan, he loved it. And that kind of person.
Yeah.
That's the other kind of woke person.
Yeah.
Yeah, the go with the flow, follow the sheeple type. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, these individuals, they don't, unless they do something deserving of some sort of recognition, or God forbid if this ever happens, some degree of respect, dare I say. I'm not gonna just bash them because, well, I disagree with you, therefore. But the vast majority of them, no, they're just children. Either you agree with them, or God forbid you disagree with them and then watch them throw a freaking temper tantrum, and they won't stop until they either isolate themselves into a safe space or they manage to unperson you. These are not emotionally stable people. They're not rational people. They're not intellectual people. They're emotionally driven children.
They unperson you as soon as they find out your political views don't match exactly with theirs.
I have mentioned the way to deal with a lot of this problem is to go, so what? That destroys most of their arguments. They are working on the... I'll let you ever go in a sec, Batman, just 1 minute. Mm-hmm. They're actually talking... They do what they do because they're targeting for fear. When you can turn around and go, don't care, so what?
Or they call you a Nazi and you agree with them. And then tell them that you're proud of it.
This is where
what I was going to say is that's another aspect that shows how childish they are. Listen to how they've changed language. Unperson people. When I was a kid, it wasn't unperson, it was dehumanize. That's how grown-ups say it.
Yeah.
Well, the reason I use the term unperson is because none of them have actually ever read 1984.
None of them have actually read full stop.
Fair enough.
I don't really count what you read on the internet as actual reading, because it isn't.
No, fair point. I'm not going to disagree there.
And then let's look at what they write, how they write. Most of them can't spell. The vast majority of them don't know word one about grammar. They don't know how to use words correctly. I mean, the amount of time I've seen the word of being used instead of have, for example. Yeah. Or a lot instead of a space lot.
Yeah.
Well, again, they all operate based upon emotion. Like the example I was using earlier with this idiot on Twitter. Oh, you're just obsessed. You're the only one obsessed with Fang Fang. Okay, be salty. You're the one salty. Maybe you should go get laid. Oh, I'm not salty. You're salty. Go get laid, bro. LOL. Quote tweet Andy, blah, blah, blah. Quote tweet Andy strikes again. They're trying to get an emotional response or rise out of you. The second they can't do it, they either continue to throw a temper tantrum, which is an endless source of amusement, or they quit. Because, again, they're children. And I agree with Hoodie's approach to these types of individuals. They're not worth trying to have a serious conversation with. They're
No,
not worth explaining anything to. So just treat them like children. Mock them, make fun of them, laugh at them, but don't give them any serious time of day because you're just wasting your fucking time.
Then you get the types that I actually like. Yeah, that are actually refreshing. You get into a fucking Twitter argument or a YouTube argument with them, and you find out they can actually fucking listen to other arguments, and they end it by offering an olive branch, saying it's only an argument online. I don't want to I don't want this to devolve into a hate fucking fest. So those are the reasonable ones.
I mean, in the rare instance that happens, I'll very quickly be like, okay, you know what? All right, it came a little bit hard at you. All right, it's fine. Yep. But hey, if we can have a reasonable and rational conversation as adults, by all means, I'm willing to do that. It's just, I've had enough arguments with these types of individuals on Twitter. I immediately approach it from the perspective that you're probably an emotionally unhinged fucking child, and I'm going to treat you as such until you prove me otherwise, in which case, if you do, I'll take my L. Like, all right, I misjudged. I'll treat you with a little bit more respect because you know what? You fucking managed to earn it.
I had one. It was on Twitter last year. Yeah, you want to crack open a book, dude? I'm 56. I actually know what a book is. You're probably a fucking a millennial or a Zoomer. You probably only know a book from your history lessons.
Yeah.
Well, it's like I was asking earlier on Twitter, how many of these frickin' morons do you think actually know how to use a frickin' road atlas?
I've actually still got one.
I guarantee they've never seen a fucking phone book in their lives.
Again, I've got, you still get them in this country. They're small, but...
Batman, cop this one for a chuckle, mate. I actually own a world atlas that was from like the ancient past. I know this because it's got Rhodesia in it.
I have
Rhodesia.
I have a book in the house which I used to use for a source book for one of my role-playing games. You know what it is?
Go on.
The complete history of the 20th century, from 1900 to 2000.
Oh, so everyone that enjoys this actually feels really old. For all of you guys actually appreciate 1980s music, i.e. the 80s, that's 40 years old.
And I've got to address Flying Falcon here. Some of you do, yes. In fact, I'd say most millennials that I've actually met in the real world aren't woke idiots. But then again, I'm in the Northeast, so most of the people I meet are of working class stock. Who don't have time to be woke.
And I'll say, just from the area that I live in, the vast majority of people that I encounter, whether millennial, older, or younger, they just don't have time to pay attention to this shit. If you try, it's not even that. It's like, look, I've either got bills to pay or I've got kids to take care of. It's one of the two. Like, they're just completely disengaged.
A lot of them have been told they've got this this behavioural disability or that behavioural disability, even if they haven't, but they end up believing it to take on the fucking the worst aspects of that, and then use it as a crutch.
So let's just touch on one more thing before we bounce out of here. This is the reason somebody asked the question: what is a legitimate argument you have for institutions or corporations adopting anti-racist policy? And in my opinion, on a completely serious note, there's two primary reasons where I would actually support this. One, appease the outrage mob enough so that it doesn't make things complicated to the point where you start wasting money on it, or at least any more money than necessary. That would be primary reason number one, specifically for corporations. Institutions should ignore this shit to begin with. But reason number two, do it so that people who would normally not pay attention, who wouldn't even be aware that this is actually going on, show them what it actually is. Because most people hear anti-racist and they're like, oh, well, it's against racism, right? No, wrong. Semantics game. Show them what it actually is.
Yeah. Anti-racism is like matter, anti-matter. It's the equal and exact opposite. And the opposite of racism is it's a different kind of bigotry.
Yeah, it's
I'm sorry, Batman. Anything you say sounds so hilarious because all we can hear is your cat purring. It's brilliant.
but that's the thing.
Hairy bastard.
That's the thing. They say anti-racism, but really what it means is it's just racism with a different angle. It's like it's either racist or it isn't.
Yep.
Anti-racism is just a fancy way of trying to convince people that your racist rhetoric is okay because you can't be racist for made-up reason A, B, C, and D. And most people won't figure this out unless you directly affect their real lives, i.e. their real working lives, where you have to put them through training and you have to treat this person this way, but you have to treat this person this way. Yeah, force it in their fucking faces. And guess what? Normies who are usually have better things to do with their time or too busy dealing with real world problems would never pay attention to this bullshit to begin with in the first place. Shove it in their fucking face and guess what fucking reaction you're gonna get.
Yeah,
It's gotta piss them off.
I kind of agree with what Brent just said. Prefers common sense to intelligence.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right, because back in the day, common sense used to inform intelligence.
Yeah.
I mean, my generation, Brent's as well. You ask us our opinion on something, the first thing we'd say is, I think. Nowadays, it's I feel.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, no, you're not wrong.
Horrible to say, but it's true.
And
Your
again,
when it comes to reality and stuff that is happening, your feelings do not matter.
well, again, this is the reason I would actually say, like, yes, all corporations should take up an anti-racism training program and hire a diversity manager, because as soon as you sit a bunch of white people down in a room and put someone who is not a white person up in front and start lecturing all the white people that, well, you make non-white people feel uncomfortable in this space, and this is why, and when inevitably the reason becomes, well, because you're white and they're not.
Come on, Doku.
They're going to start realizing. Well, they're going to start realizing really fucking quick. So wait a second.
Yeah, but Doku, we all know.
Hold on, Batman. Hold on.
Okay, go on. Ruin me joke.
Yeah, they're going to start realizing really fucking quick. So the whole premise of your argument is that because I'm white, I make people who are not white uncomfortable simply for the fact of me being white or me not.
It's because of the amount of light that you're reflecting back into the room.
The deadlights. Okay,
I mean,
we're all
the thing
fucking
is,
clowns.
Doku, the thing is, you know for a fact, because we know how racist the world is, especially America. If you put a black person in a room full of white people, when you go back into that room 5 minutes later, he's going to be hung. They're going to have lynched him.
Well, the thing is, Batman, you actually bring up a good point, though, because somebody's asked, or many people have asked, is America a fundamentally racist country?
No, it's not.
I would say yes for this one particular reason. I haven't seen any sign saying only white people allowed or people of color need not apply. But I've seen a lot of things to the contrary. I've seen white people. I've seen plenty of videos of white people being harassed by even other white people out of certain spaces for the cardinal sin of being white. Yes.
And not being ashamed of it.
Yeah, so is there institutional racism? Yeah, there is. It's just not the way you think.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. There's another one. Lynchings. Back in the latter half of the 19th century, all the way through to when lynching actually died out in the United States. The majority of lynchings were black people hanging other black people.
Oh, now it's people go to any freaking major city and you have a decent chance if you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, and it just so happens that a certain event might be in the news cycle. Yeah. There's a lot of videos where it's like, hey, go beat up Whitey.
Doesn't matter what. That's one thing to say about Southeast Los Angeles. It's an equal opportunity zone, because if you're in Southeast Los Angeles after the sun goes down, doesn't matter what color you are, what ethnicity you are, you'll probably never be heard of again. That's actually true, Jensen.
I know.
Yeah, no, it is. Even in New York, There's video of people being chased down where they're just saying,
Yeah.
"Oh, that person's white. Go get him." And then you see a mob of like freaking 10 people chase down a freaking white woman and her boyfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, that's another book I got for source material for role playing games. The Backpacker's Guide to California, and it actually says that in the section about Southeast LA. Is it got great markets for tourists, right? Yeah, wonderful markets. You get lots of bargains. Yeah, handcrafted stuff. Yeah, really good stuff, right? But make sure you're out there before the sun goes down, because if you're not a local, you might not be heard of again. But either way, you're almost certainly going to get mugged.
Yeah, the sad part is that is not necessarily fiction.
It isn't. Yeah. It's in a fucking. It's in a tourist's guide.
That's bad.
The Backpacker's Guide to California.
Oh, it's a legit. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, to be blunt, credit to the author because it's not wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to bring this to an end. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for being here and talking absolute rubbish, and of course talking about the booze, because let's be fair, we all like talking about booze. And thank you very much to everybody that came along and listened. Again, I will remind you, Dodge and Cabby's Wake on the 11th of next month. I hope to see you all there. Until the next round of absolute gibberish that we come up with, I'll see you all later. Bye-bye, everybody.
Cheers.